This, as you all know, is the iPhone X, the phone that Apple says is the best yet, but one that feels like a mere imitation of its previous self. In what is Apple's attempt to finally catch up to the rest of the market, it's done so in a way that sacrifices what I feel they stand for, all the while costing over $1,000 US. So over the years, if one thing has stood out over everything else, it's that iconic design. It's been lauded by absolutely everyone, and rightly so. It's nothing short of brilliant. So it kind of sucks to say that when I first saw this in person and now holding it in my hand, I'm struggling to see what Apple were thinking. This doesn't scream Apple at all. Of course, the biggest detail here is that notch. I've been taking my time with it, reading, using, talking to lots of people, and the overall impression that I'm getting is that people are accepting it, learning to love it rather than the other way around. You know, holding Apple for that pedigree that they've created, it shouldn't have been like this. I would have liked to see the band go all the way across, eliminating the notch altogether. A few extra millimeters for the sake of design consistency is something that I, and I'm sure everyone, would hope for. The knock-on effect of this hardware choice is the inability to kind of really gauge information as well as you would have with previous iPhones. There's space for only a few icons on either side now, requiring you to go somewhere else to see the details that you would have done previously. We can't choose what we see on either side of that notch, so we're kind of stuck with what's there. At the moment, it just feels like a messy, compromised experience, just with the aim to try and push something new. So where the Essential phone did something similar, I think it did something in a way that didn't detract from the overall experience and the consistency that was seen before it. Overall, it's not a bad design, it's just, surprising. That's not to mention though what all of this has done to the software. Subjectively, it's always felt messy, but now it just feels like these features are trying to be shoehorned into an OS that can't really accommodate it. Swiping up works flawlessly and genuinely feels incredibly natural, but going into recents isn't the same deal at all. It feels a little odd and unnatural, plus now having to then pause to close the app, it just feels like a lifetime. Another consequence is relegating those basic staple actions like turning the phone off, activating Siri, or something like Apple Pay to various button combinations. I can't imagine who thought this would be a good idea. Now, I do realize how all of this is sounding, and even though I don't use Apple products on the daily, when I think of them, I think of incredible attention to detail with absolutely no compromises. So it's just surprising when you come across a completely broken notification system, inconsistent animations, getting to the camera by swiping right, but also through force touch, which, by the way, has no prompt or indication, so you're kind of left guessing until you realize that it's force touch. And to top it off, there's no fast charger included. There just seems to be a massive disconnect between the vision and the execution, but also between the hardware and software. I'm not saying don't buy it. There's a lot more to a purchase than what I've said here because of things like ecosystem. But honestly, it's not all bad. The display quality is phenomenal. The app selection is still one of the best around. The performance is insane. And the implementation of Face ID is excellent despite, the inconvenience compared to a fingerprint sensor. But at the end of the day, this is a company that sets the standard, creates the inspiration, often seen as the pinnacle. So it's in that very light that this phone feels like a mere imitation of its previous self, forcing us to live with this new reality as truth. But this is the phone that Apple have given us, but not the one that we deserve. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this phone down below. It's been one of the most interesting phone launches to have come out for a long time. Anyways, take it easy and I will see you soon.